It's freaking Star Wars, baby!
In the Star Wars Ahsoka series, we are only 2 episodes away from being at the end of it. Aww. And in this, we got 2 new characters, Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati, the 2 mercenaries who have now been sent by Grand Admiral Thrawn himself to go destroy Sabine Wren and Ezra Bridger once they meet up. But there's something off about the characters. I've made a lot of speculation videos about these 2 characters from the beginning of the series, probably even from the trailers that we've seen as to who they are, what their motives are, and so on and so forth. But I think it's going to be much deeper than anything we've seen, and I feel like we've been bait and switched, and not in a bad way, that these characters are going to change. And we're already seeing signs of that in Shin Hati. Now, I've talked to other people about this in person, and they all say, oh, you're crazy. No, they're just Darksiders who are just two-dimensional characters that have no real depth, and I beg to differ. They are completely wrong. These characters are deep, and there's going to be something surprising coming, and I'd like to speculate on what that is. But before I get into that, I would like you all to have a little bit of patience and understanding in this and send some positive vibes. We have a viewer here named Michael Newby who has become my friend, actually, through this channel and through our interactions here. We've met in person. He came to see me in the hospital, and he's been to my 50th birthday party, and we talk on a regular basis. This guy's a really good dude. Well, his wife's going through some medical issues right now. I don't want to go into details as to what those are. If Michael wants to tell you, then he can do that. But I just want you all to send some positive vibes, prayers, and well wishes to his wife for what she has coming up. So please do so, and let's reach out and help these people out as best we can. I'm sending my well wishes and positive energy toward them as well for her to have a speedy recovery and everything to go well. So please just keep them in your thoughts and prayers. And I do this for any one of you. I do consider you all friends, and we do communicate through this channel on a regular basis. So if you have a need or well wishes or you need prayers or something, just ask me and I'll post it up there for you, because we're all people. We're all humans. And at the end of the day, we are Star Wars fans, but we're all humans, and we all deserve the best of what life has to offer. And as far as this being a community, that's what I've been preaching since the beginning of having this channel. This is going to be a community. It's not just a place for people to come and learn about Star Wars and talk about Star Wars. This is for friendship and communion. I'm not taking communion. Sorry. But I'm not going to ask for subscribers today and give you my funny little voice spiel and all that stuff. And I'm sorry, I'm skipping the sponsors today. I thought this message was a little more important. So that's Michael Newby. If you guys see him around in the comments, just send him some well wishes, okay? All right, thank you. Now let's get back to the topic of Shin Hati and Baylan Skoll in the Ahsoka Tano series. In Norse legends, Baylan and Shin are 2 wolves who chase the sun and the moon, respectively. Now we see them set off by Grand Admiral Thrawn to chase Sabine and Ezra. But which one's the sun, which one's the moon? I guess that's just a little detail that may be left out from the Norse legends. Now, in the beginning of the Ahsoka series, we see Baylan and Shin just ravage an entire crew on a Republic cruiser and destroy everybody on board, with Shin not blinking ever until recently, and that signifies a sort of change. And we see that change while she's interacting with Grand Admiral Thrawn and Baylan Skoll in Ahsoka Episode 6. Now, in the beginning, like I said, we see Shin Hati. She is just a hunter hired to do a job, and she's going to do that job regardless of what it takes, because she gets paid for it. Now, there's a moral compass to these people, and we can kind of understand that, since Baylan Skoll grew up in the Jedi Order and it fell. He watched it rise, fall, watched the Empire rise, fall. He saw the Republic fall, and he talks about this repeated cycle and how it needs to end, how it just needs to stop there. Now, that's a little deeper than what he was hired to do, and Shin Hati sees this. She sees her job as complete. Her job was they were hired to find the map and get to Grand Admiral Thrawn and set up his rescue. Well, that's been achieved. Now they're adding on another mission for them to go hunt down Sabine Wren and Ezra Bridger. Now, in the beginning of the Ahsoka series, we are shown that Shin Hati is probably just a Darksider who is bent on destruction and evil and all this stuff, but we're seeing something different now. And when Thrawn tells them, go track them down and destroy them, she gives Thrawn a look like, what? This isn't what I was hired to do. And two, this goes against my moral compass. And she even tells Baylan Skoll, I thought we were going to let her have her wish since she helped us. And Thrawn tells her, yeah, she's going to have every availability to go find Bridger, but that's the end of it. They're going to die after that. And you can see that turmoil in her face when she looks at Thrawn with that curious look like, okay, what's going on here? This goes against everything I'm for. We made this girl a promise, and now we're going to go back on that and kill him? That makes no sense. Why not just leave him here, and so on and so forth? And I'm reading thoughts into her head, and that may or may not be there, but you can tell by the look on her face she's not happy about this. And this is the moment when she finally blinks. Now, blinking probably isn't one of those details we should probably go crazy about or anything. They probably just didn't show her blinking off camera or something. So, who knows with that one. But later on, she and Baylan Skoll are talking as they're hunting down Sabine Wren, and she talks about it again. She talks about, is this right? Are we supposed to do this? And he says, yeah, it's what we're doing, whatever. And he tells her about the Jedi Order and how Ezra Bridger was raised as a Jedi after the fall of the Jedi Order and some kind of wild Jedi. And she says, well, isn't that what I am? And he says, well, no, I trained you to be more. And she gets another curious look on her face, which indicates to me that she just wanted to be a Jedi, and the understanding of the Jedi Order that she is a part of now is different than what she believed it to be. That maybe she was raised and trained in this Jedi Order that she thought was the same as the old one, and that everything she's doing is what the Jedi are. But now she's being told that it's different. She's a different kind of Jedi and more than just a Jedi. And Baylan Skoll may have been manipulating her this entire time. So I think we're going to see some kind of alter to her personality, like alteration, not alter. Ugh. Man, I need to use my adjectives a little bit better. But I think we're going to see an alteration to her personality where she's not agreeing with this, and she's probably going to try to help Ezra and Sabine. And I think Baylan Skoll either will come on board with that once he sees the Star Destroyer hit that hyperspace ring and jet out of there and leave them stranded, or he's going to have to fight Shin. But I think that this entire time that he's looking for that greater thing that's calling out to him, that's also going to be deceiving. That once he unleashes it, if it needs to be unleashed, then he's going to be betrayed by whatever it was. And he's going to come to this sad realization that, his whole purpose was a lie. And Shin Hati is already coming to that realization. It's only going to take that Star Destroyer blasting off and leaving them stranded there before they realize it. Well, Ahsoka shows up with the space whales, or Purrgil if you prefer, and maybe they get out that way. But I don't know. This show is becoming really dark and really deep. And for those who don't like it, I don't understand it, because there's so much to it and there's so much going to happen to it. And I don't think it's all going to culminate in this season. I think it's going to take a second season and the Mandalorian movie for all of it to really come to fruition. So we're looking at years before this story is complete. But let me know what you think in the comments. Is Shin Hati having a change of heart? Is she going to jump back into her moral compass and become more like a Jedi of the past, without the hubris and the, arrogance and willingness to follow the Republic and so on and so forth. But is she going to adapt a different kind of Jedi way of thinking that is more in line with what Jedi were before the takeover of Palpatine in the Senate? Now, I am loving the characters of Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati. Notice I'm not saying Hati. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that, but I'm not. I'm saying Hati, haha, because it's fun. Anyways, I'm really enjoying these characters, and I think there's so much that could become of them. And I think, this story could really use a backstory for both of them, at least Baylan Skoll, maybe from Tales of the Jedi. I'd like to see something like that. And I'd like to see more of them, maybe a spinoff or something. It's sad that Ray Stevenson's gone and he won't be able to portray Baylan Skoll. But let me know what you think in the comments. Should these two characters have more to them, or are we good enough with them in the Ahsoka series? But let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And before I go, just hit that like and subscribe button and share the video with some friends. And remember, if you have a need or want for some goodwill, well wishes, or some prayers, let me know. And I'll try to do my best to give you a shout out for that and get a bunch of people to send some positive energy your way. Until the next video, this is Gerald, a Star Wars fanatic, signing off, wishing you all great health, happiness, and peace. Thank you all for watching. And remember, this is the way. And positivity in the Star Wars community can be the only way.